Now, the Von Erich and Fabulous Freebirds storyline was so unique for managing to create an intensity between the fans and the wrestlers. With wrestling having been exposed over the years, though, do you think that a feud like this can still work?
Yeah, you give it this. You look at it like this, Nick. You kind of got to peel the onion down a few layers and look at it like this. If you want to look at entertainment, like say Shakespeare, or I mean, how many people go to Bruce Lee movies and yell fake? Or say, how many people go to watch, some scary movie where a guy gets his head cut off and people yell fake? You know, hey, you're being entertained. Bruce Lee is no phony. He's a great entertainer, and a lot of people know that. And now, professional wrestlers are all excellent athletes, but they also have the ability to perform. They can project a personality across airwaves, and that takes a good man to do that. A really talented. That's why there's so few professional wrestlers. So many people want to be wrestlers, but in the sports entertainment business, I don't like to call it wrestling. But so many people want to be in it because of that. It's a great way to express yourself, and it's a great way to make a living. I enjoyed the business. Enjoyed it a lot.
Where exactly did the Von Erich claw finishing hold come from? For those who don't know what that is, it's basically a claw where you sort of make your hand to be a claw and you put it on the opponent's head and it sort of cuts off the pressure. So where exactly did that hold come from?
Oh, it's a pressure point hold. It's just it's a weird story, Nick, if you want to hear it. The thing is, my dad was having an argument. My dad always had a freaky hand. It's like every one out of a million people has this, where they can bend silver dollars, like open Coke bottles with their hand, with their thumb, and he'd take a block of wood and put it in pliers and break it, and just do all sorts of tricks with his hand, And so he could do things like that. And he was talking to a promoter in Houston, and he didn't like what the promoter was telling him, and he had a big, thick plexiglass desk, and so Dad snapped off the two corners of his desk, and tossed him in front of him, and I guess he was illustrating a point or something. But Dad's hand was always like that, and Kerry's and Dave's hands and mine were strong hands, but I don't want to say they were as strong as Dad's. We all had to have something else. We had to have our opponent in a bad way before I would use the claw. I'd want to go ahead and the guy had to have something to sell in the first place, or the claw would not be effective, say, for me. Well, it would, but only when the guy was really tired. A lot of times when you put the claw on somebody, believe it or not, Nick, he's glad because he knows it's over.
Your father also ran World Class as the promoter, but did you yourself have any involvement in the inner workings of the promotion?
Yeah, I kind of did. I was, when Dave died, and then my dad wanted to get that Lance character, and he wasn't even a Von Erich, and because we've been running 3 shows a day, me one, Dave one, Kerry one, and now we've got to run where either Kerry or me, and we'd split it up. Every other week. I'd work twice a day, or he'd work twice a day, and we do it like that. And then when Kerry got his foot cut off, it was just me 3 times, 3 pounds a day, and it was terrible because Lance couldn't draw money. And my brother Mike was just not quite drawing it yet, and so I was on one of the cards with Mike. But as far as having a hand in the business, I'd say, yeah, I had to. I had to say, this is impossible. This won't work. We can't do this. Well, for one thing, Nick, when you just lost your brother, in your heart, you're thinking about heaven. You're thinking about seeing him again. You're thinking about love and one day we'll be together again. Grief, pain. The last thing that's on your mind is kicking that guy's ass standing across the ring from you. You're going to do it because that's why those people paid their money, and that's why you're taking the check. But it's tough, man. It's like that's not where your head is, and that's all I want to get out of wrestling for one thing. It's just fun, and I knew it. pretty soon. Yeah.
You sort of touched on it earlier with Lance Von Erich, who you attempted to use, and he just, unfortunately, he sort of failed, and it was such a bad thing for the promotion. What was the fundamental reason why you thought that he failed, as a Von Erich, but also as a star in the promotion?
Well, for one thing, he didn't have... he was a good athlete. He's big and he was strong, but he didn't have any charisma. But worse than that, in Israel, we were pretty much followed by paparazzis everywhere in the country of Israel. It was like really everything we did was under a microscope. And Lance is over there committing adultery. He's fallen in love with some girl, and he's crying in the airport while they're saying bye to each other. And the guy's married, and all these magazines know that, and it made us all look bad in Israel. And so, we had to kick Lance out for that, too. He just was an immoral type guy. So great, or we are so moral, but in Israel, adultery is a big thing. It should be everywhere, I suppose, but it's not. But it is in Israel. It was.
I mean, was that the fundamental reason why he was let go from the company, or was it just because he wasn't working as a Von Erich, or was it a combination of both?
Yeah, he really didn't have the ability. He was getting, people were beating the crap out of him in the ring, and then starting rumors all around. I beat up a Von Erich, like Lance was one of us, and I mean, everybody kicked his butt all over the world, and it made us all look bad. So it was just Dad just insisted on it, and we hated the idea, but we went with it. We had to. Dad was our father. So.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about Gino Hernandez for a second. It's been well speculated by his fellow colleagues about the circumstances of his passing. How do you feel about what happened?
Well, I don't want to get shot in the head, and so I don't know. I don't know any of these. I think there was some, wrong play, but that's speculation. It's all just my idea, because I know that he was really worried before he died. He was scared to death. As a matter of fact, he bought a gun, and he had a gun on him, and he wasn't the top guy that liked guns, but he was carrying a gun with him, and there was a guy hiding in his car. One time he caught him and didn't get in the car, and the guy ran off, and so he was really worried, and sooner or later the guy dies. And what I heard was that they found cocaine in his stomach, and people don't drink coke, they snort it or shoot it, or what they do, smoke it, I guess you ain't any coke, but you don't drink it. And I say that. I suppose I've never heard anybody doing that. And Gino did it, and they found it in his stomach, and he died. That's what I heard. They could have hushed that up, but that's what I heard.
Your brother Kerry Von Erich went to the WWF and was given the name Texas Tornado. Given that you had seen him grow up in the ring, so to speak, how did you feel his transition to the WWF went? And what did you think of the name Texas Tornado?
Well, I really didn't like it, to tell the truth. Kerry had worked so many years. Everybody knew it was Kerry Von Erich. It was just their idea. But the reason the WWE did that was because Kerry had been a world champion discus thrower, and he had the world's record. And it would have been crazy not to incorporate that into wrestling. And so when you put a spin and lay an elbow in a guy's face, or it's supposed to can't be a closed fist, but even an open hand in a guy's jaw or something, you're going to put a good jolt on him. Plus, it reminds the people of the discus. And so that was their idea, their call. They did it, and that's the way it is.
Did you think that he could have made it in the WWF, or did you have concerns about his personal life at that point? Because I know he had drug problems and things like that.
Yeah, I'm afraid he was doing those dang drugs. And the WWE has changed. I mean, but back in the 80s, there was like World Class was pretty much the champs when it came to everything. And we had the highest rating, but we also had the biggest partiers in the whole business, all in the same territory. We were doing great money, huge crowds. We're practically killing each other every night. But they also were guys that would party hard, too. When they got through, they partied.